Great was a giant of the ancient world. A powerful king, he ruled the land of Judea for over 30 years.
The day of Herod at Herodium was, maybe he started swimming. There was a large swimming pool.
He was a king who ruled through fear, built grand monuments from blood, and died consumed by his own paranoia. This is the story of Herod the Great, the ruler whose empire was forged on suffering and whose legacy endures in whispers of horror. Herod could no longer tell if it was day or night. His chamber was thick with incense and oil, but beneath that, a sickly sweetness lingered, like fruit left too long in the sun. The once mighty king of Judea lay on a bed of ivory and cedar, his breath shallow, trembling beneath silken sheets. His skin flickered between burning heat and icy cold, and his mind was a turbulent sea of memories and torment. He called for his sons, but none came. He called for his wife, but she had been gone for years, slain by his own hand. Surrounded by gold, marble and silence, Herod, once a mighty ruler, was now a dying man consumed by his own fears. Outside his window, Herod's empire shimmered, Jericho's hills glowing like molten brass under the desert sun. Yet, as he gazed upon it, haunted memories flooded his mind. How it all began, when his beard was black and his eyes burned with ambition. Herod was not born into royalty. He was an outsider from Judea, a land conquered by the Jews generations earlier. His father, Antipa, was a shrewd survivor of palace politics, and his mother was an Arab noblewoman, making Herod both part of Judea and forever apart from it. In turbulent years of empire clash, Egypt, Syria, Ptolemaic and Seleucid struggles, Herod found his purpose. Rome was rising, its legions marching eastward, hungry for control of trade routes and sacred lands. Resistance was futile. It meant annihilation. Herod understood this early. He bent the knee to the eagle, mastering the language of loyalty and conquest. His cunning caught the attention of Mark Antony, who rewarded him. Cleopatra admired his ambition, but mocked his fears. The Roman Senate, eager for vassals, granted him the title of King of the Jews before he even claimed the land. But titles meant little unless earned in blood. Judea rebelled. The Hasmoneans fought to reclaim independence. Herod waged a brutal war for 3 years, cutting through mountain passes, besieging cities, bribing Roman generals to turn a blind eye. When Jerusalem finally fell, it was not with celebration, but screams. The temple was burning, stones blackened by fire, rebel bodies lined the streets. Herod entered as a conqueror, not a savior. Priests hated him, whispers of curses spread behind closed doors. Yet Rome, satisfied, smiled. Herod's victory was enough. Herod's reign was a relentless building spree. He turned barren lands into palaces. Caesarea Maritima, Herodium, Masada, symbols of his power and paranoia. His greatest project was the temple in Jerusalem, an architectural marvel, gilded and expanded, meant to demonstrate divine authority. Pilgrims marveled, whispering, "Surely this is the house of God." But Herod knew, it was also the house of Herod. Enemies grew. Pharisees condemned him for defiling laws. Zealots cursed him as a puppet of Rome. His court was a theatre of flattery and suspicion, every whisper a potential dagger. Amidst this chaos, one woman softened his hardened heart. Mariamne, proud, beautiful, descended from the Maccabeus, her love was dangerous. Rumours of her plotting against him enraged Herod. Her trial was swift, evidence flimsy. Herod sentenced her to death. Her screams echoed through the palace. Her death haunted him, her face in bronze, her laughter in silence. Her death drove him further into madness. Rome's envoys saw a broken man. His paranoia intensified. Towers along the horizon, watchtowers to spy on his realm. Trusted guards became enemies. His own sons plotted treachery. Alexander, Aristobulus, Antipater, each executed by his hand. Now utterly alone, Herod's face grew pale and hollow-eyed. His grand projects, once driven by fire, now consumed his sanity. Crueler, harsher, his decrees swift, his mind unraveling. Then, one night, he awoke trembling, fever refusing to break. At first he suspected poison or an assassin, but the enemy was within. His strength waned, his skin turned ashen, and his mind drifted into delirium. Visions haunted him, Mariamne's cold face, his son's accusing hands, the priests, the Romans, the people, all watching as the mighty king was reduced to a dying man. His illness worsened, silence fell over the palace, servants whispered, visitors were turned away, and the proud ruler lay in darkness, his flesh decaying faster than his spirit. He screamed, not from fear of death, but from the unbearable knowledge that his empire would not mourn him. His body was a battlefield, boils bursting, limbs trembling, pain echoing with each breath. He believed himself cursed, his insides ablaze as divine punishment at last caught up. Night after night he awoke clutching his chest, convinced angels of vengeance surrounded his bed. His attendants sealed the palace, doubled guards, tortured physicians, all to no avail. His agony was both physical and spiritual. Haunted by memories, the screams of his murdered sons, the silence of Mariamne, he saw his own ruin in every shadow. His final hours saw him trying to rise, clutching his golden bedpost, gasping for air. His attendants hesitated, fearing his wrath. The king of Judea, builder of temples and tombs, collapsed onto his silken sheets. A muffled cry escaped, laughter mixed with agony. He called for Rome, for God, for Mariamne. No answer. At dawn, Herod's breath faltered, his crown crooked on his brow. The great king was no more. His curse endured, the streets of Jerusalem did not mourn, temples remained silent, only whispers told the story of a ruler who defied heaven, murdered kin, and built wonders on blood. Herod's legacy was fear and grandeur intertwined, an empire built on suffering, born of cunning, rising in chaos. His name was marked by cruelty. Augustus once said it was better to be Herod's pig than his son, an echo of his madness. His grand projects, fortresses, temples, marked his ego and fears, but behind the splendor, his empire was a prison of suspicion. When he died, he ordered the slaughter of Judea's noblemen, ensuring tears even in death. His funeral was a spectacle, his body carried to Herodium, sealed within his mountain tomb. His sons fought bitterly for the throne. Soon a new figure arose, Jesus of Nazareth, whose humble origins would overshadow Herod's monstrous legacy. Centuries later, excavations revealed his palaces, his tomb, each stone whispering the truth. Herod's greatness was built on suffering. Herod the Great, king of terror, builder of wonders, died in silence, his empire crumbling beneath the weight of his sins. A warning across the ages. Even the mightiest kings rot, and empires forged in fear fall to dust.